This is Chapter 4 of Scream It, So I Know You Mean It. Chapter 4 title Small Talk. The next few days were a blur of bus rides and unpacked bags. Izuku slowly settled into the studio, getting his essentials in place and trying not to feel out of place himself. He learned the No Hero Agenda band studio was actually Aizawa's house, with most of the space modified to work well for loud practicing sessions and even recording. Aizawa basically let all the members have free reign over the space, other than his bedroom towards the back of the house. Izuku had made himself comfortable in the living room couch with Aizawa's tuxedo cat, Bowie, curled up like a cinnamon roll on his lap. The cat's warmth and gentle purrs helped Izuku stay calm in the chaos of the house. For this upcoming performance, Izuku was making an effort to see how the band works together behind the scenes. He would listen quietly as they rattled off setlist ideas to figure out each member's preferences and the group's dynamics. Kirishima was the hype man of No Hero Agenda, no question. He's the first to show up, the last to leave, and the loudest voice cheering every wild idea into reality. He dives into every rehearsal like it's a live show, bringing an infectious energy that lifts the whole band. When it's his turn to suggest a track, Izuku's noticed a clear pattern. Kirishima gravitates toward high-octane anthems built to move a crowd. Songs with pounding beats, big shout-along choruses, and moments designed to explode on stage. He lives for audience interaction. His favorite part of any set is the call and response. Guaranteed to yell, "Put your hands together! Let me hear you!" with a grin that could spark a mosh pit. And he's constantly scheming the perfect moment to stage dive or launch himself off the amps, preferably right when the chorus hits and everybody's singing their lungs out. To Kirishima, the best songs aren't just heard, they're experienced. Shinso is the band's stealth weapon. He doesn't talk much during rehearsal, but when he does, it's usually to say something that cuts straight through the noise. He keeps to himself, half shrouded in cigarette smoke and dry sarcasm. But when his hands are on a guitar, the shift is immediate. His fingers know what to say, even when he doesn't. Shinso's music taste is like him, low-key, deliberate, and sharp-edged if you know where to look. He gravitates toward songs that feel like they're holding something back, where the tension simmers beneath every note. Moody, atmospheric tracks with pulsing bass lines and distorted guitar textures, usually pulled from early 2000s alt rock or post hardcore. He likes the kind of music that builds pressure slowly, then crashes all at once. Never showy, always calculated. If it's got layered instrumentation, clever phrasing, or a riff that sounds like it's been stalking you in the dark, it's probably on his playlist. Izuku watched him spend nearly an hour adjusting a single drop, toggling pedals, retuning, looping the same 4 bars over and over until the distortion didn't just hit, it hollowed the air out of your lungs. No one complained. Not when it sounded like that. Tamaki doesn't speak up often during rehearsal, but when he does, the room listens. There's no bravado in his voice, just quiet conviction and a deep, unshakable love for music. His taste leans towards the introspective. Ambient piano, cinematic builds, and delicate progressions that swell until they catch in your throat. His song suggestions are always softer, more melodic, but never dull. Tamaki doesn't play to impress. He plays to feel, to wrap the audience in something tender and unspoken. On the keyboard, his fingers move like they're painting with air, pulling shimmering layers out of every chord, coaxing crescendos that sneak up on you and break your heart in the gentlest ways. He never demands a spotlight. In fact, he actively avoids it, blending a sound into the seams of the set until it holds everything together. But Izuku's noticed something quietly profound. When Tamaki plays, even the loudest parts of the song seem to breathe differently, like the whole band is somehow breathing a soul into the sound. Katsuki's recommendations, let's be honest, his orders, are always the most explosive. There's no room for hesitation in his setlist picks. If the drums don't feel like an assault, if the vocals don't sound like someone ripping their soul out through their teeth, it's not making the cut. His taste leans toward high octane, high stakes tracks with rigorous percussion, guttural screams, and verses that demand blood from whoever's singing them. No half measures, no soft edges. Every song he brings to the table is a war cry. But there's more to it than volume. Izuku started to notice that Katsuki doesn't just want the music loud. He wants it clean, controlled, and precise. He'll rehearse a scream 30 times to get the break right. He'll rip apart a drum pattern and rebuild it from scratch just because it wasn't hitting hard enough. There's a kind of desperation to it. Not to be perfect, but to be undeniable. His tracks don't just aim to impress, they aim to conquer. When he performs, it's like something else takes over. His body practically shakes with it, but his grip on the beat never slips. It's brutal, magnetic, exhausting, and Izuku can't look away. Izuku had quietly collected these observations in a notebook, careful to hide it from view of his new bandmates. Watching them all work, listening, absorbing, trying to learn the rhythm behind their chaos was the only way he knew to keep up. He was scribbling mid sentence when he realized the scratching of his pen had become the only sound in the room. The silence made Izuku's chest feel tight. He looked up, startled to find the room empty except for Katsuki, crouched by the drum kit, tightening a snare with maddening focus. Of course he would still be here. And of course, the second Izuku's eyes drifted over, Katsuki caught him. Direct hit, eye contact, code red. His face was already heating up. Don't just stare, Izuku. Say something. Anything. Literally anything's better than this. So, it's been a long time since we last talked, he blurted, voice crackling like a teen with a secret. Katsuki looked up, blinked once, then gave a deadpan stare of disinterest. Not hostile, just unimpressed. Cool, 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 cool. Maybe dig your grave with a shovel instead of a spoon, Midoriya. Do you have a girlfriend now? You were always such a ladies' man in middle school, right? Katsuki barked a laugh, loud and sharp like a cymbal crash. No, he said, going back to his snare like it wasn't even a big deal. I'm gay. Izuku short circuited. Sounds came out of his mouth, but not words. Before he could collect his jumbled thoughts, Katsuki had finished his task and was standing up to head out. You got a problem with that? Katsuki asked. A more serious question now. Of course not, Kachan, Izuku yelled in a panic. Absolutely not a problem. Why? Wow, why did his face feel like it was on fire now? Katsuki said before turning away, leaving Izuku a wide-eyed, tomato-red mess. Izuku covered his face in embarrassment, now alone in the room. When they were little, they had never talked about boys or girls or any of that stuff. Izuku hadn't really thought much about it, and he definitely hadn't thought about Kachan with men? Izuku stared at his hands in confusion. His male hands. Suddenly that felt relevant. I'm just going crazy, Izuku thought to himself before packing his backpack to get back to the safety of his apartment. And that is chapter 4, Small Talk of Scream It So I Know You Mean It. Thank you so much for joining me. These readings come out every Wednesday evening, and I post the chapter on Archive of Our Own on Thursday mornings. So please join me for future readings. I hope you enjoy the chapter and let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks so much. Bye.